Here's how to train your brain to believe that it's already yours. So first of all, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chloe Saffron. And before we dive in, for anyone who wants to work with me, the links to the exclusive membership channel with rampages, with guided meditations, opportunity to ask me any questions, to manifest whether it's your specific person, love, relationships, success, money, all the things, as well as the link to apply to work with me privately, where we dive deeper. I work with clients on a longer term basis, and that's really for the most life-changing transformation, to embody your limitless power, to clear any sort of mental blocks on a subconscious level that you can't actually see that are maybe holding you back between you and having your desire, and really stepping into limitless abundance, limitless love, your dream life, anything that you want to experience, okay? So the links to those will be down below. Now let's dive into today's video. So when it comes to training your brain to believing that it's already yours, you want to recognize that your brain is searching for evidence to prove correct to you who you believe that you are and what you believe that you have. So most of us have been taught to look at life to prove to us what we can have. And that puts so many limitations on things because it's looking at it from a very limited lens, right? So instead of looking for the text or the call, looking for the relationship, looking for the love, waiting for money to come in, waiting for life to show you something different because you're looking at the mirror. Instead, when you know your power and you're standing in your power is all that is, that you know that reality is just you, it's a reflection of you. Therefore, you sit in your throne and you tell reality who you are and what you have first. Because remember that your brain is searching for evidence to prove you correct. So you cannot be looking at the mirror and expecting it to change without changing internally how you see yourself and what you believe that you already have, or what you tell yourself is true that you have, what you decide is true that you have, what you decide is true about yourself. When you start to change the current story that you have around yourself, around love, money, SP, all of that you think is in the way, right? The limiting story that you're telling yourself that you think is in the way of as to why you can't have that, and you change the story that aligns with you actually experiencing that, that's when the mirror will change. It will show you something different. So the key here to training your brain, this is the beautiful part about being in nature, so much wildlife. So the key part about training your brain to believe that it's already yours is through repetition. Your brain learns through repetition. So you're deciding that is true for you. You're deciding that new story is true for you, right? So for example, I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. I'm already whole and complete. I already am love. I already am abundance. I already am all of it that I wish to experience. I already have that all within myself. I already am the source of my income. I already have more than enough money. I already make X amount. I already have a booming business. I already am in my dream career. I already am this right now. I'm a famous YouTuber. I'm a loved, cherished, valued wife or husband. Like literally whatever identity, whatever you want to experience, you're telling yourself that is true right now. And you're deciding that any of the limiting ideas that you held about yourself, any of the fears, any of the doubts, is actually just an illusion. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It might feel real, but it's an illusion, okay? So the only truth is love. The only truth is abundance. The only truth is limitless power that you hold within yourself. That's the true nature of who you are. And so you have the power to place your awareness on any identity, on any version of yourself. So not the version of yourself that you thought that you were up until this point, that other people told you that you were, up until this point, but you're deciding from a brand new slate. If you could choose any identity, any version of yourself, what would you say that you are and what would you say that you have? What is the new story that you would tell yourself? And then you train your brain to believe it's already yours by realizing and just keep telling yourself that it's already here, that I'm already that person right now, without needing validation from the mirror, because the mirror is waiting for you to validate yourself first. It's waiting for you to tell the story first. So all your job is to manage this, right? It's to manage internally what's going on within yourself and trusting that life will reflect that back to you. So you're giving it to yourself first. You're repeating it to yourself first, the new story. And you can do this through many different ways, but it's not about the technique, okay? I know whenever people say it's not about the technique, that's like a very big thing that people say, but it is really true, because the technique is whatever you say it is that works, because it's all coming from you. You're the one that holds all the power. So the technique isn't what's important. The technique is just simply something to get you into the state of already having it, already being that person, already having what you say you have. So it could be, for example, literally just thinking to yourself, making a decision. Nope, this is how it is now. Nope, this is how it is now. Right? Nope, we're already together. Nope, I'm in perfect health. Nope, I always have more than enough money. Nope, I'm a loved, cherished, valued wife. Nope, I'm already happily married. Nope, I'm already a famous YouTuber, right? You can literally use whatever it is, whatever you're deciding for yourself, right? You decide it from the conviction and the knowing of who you are. And you just keep returning to that again and again. So instead of letting circumstances or what's happening outside of life, you return to the knowing of who you are. So you return to that decision again and again and again. And it's not about necessarily how much you do it. It's more so about staying consistent in standing firm in your decision of who you said you were and what you say that you have. So another, like that's just one technique, right? Is literally just deciding it in your internal world. The other, and like basically just thinking it to yourself, which really is just an affirmation, right? In itself, it's just a statement. It's just a new story. It's just a new assumption of what you're deciding is true for yourself. Another one is obviously scripting. You can write it out as if it's already a story. It's already true right now. You're writing it in the present tense as if that's already done. So you're saying like, no, it's already here. Like I'm saying that I am this person right now. It's already done. It's already done. So you're literally just, you're using these techniques to remind yourself that this is who you are and this is what you have. And you're staying unmoved by circumstances. So you're not, if then something, for example, a bill pops up or you get negative news, right? Or what seems like negative news, or maybe someone tells you that they don't like you. Instead of letting that throw you back into the person who isn't loved or doesn't have the money or whatever it is, you're standing firm, you're remaining firm in the decision like that you made initially, the vow, the promise that you made to yourself, okay? Another technique is obviously just affirming out loud, like rampaging as if it's already true, like you're telling a story. And then it also gets to be a very simple short story as well, by the way. It doesn't have to be like extravagantly long or anything like that. In fact, it's probably just easier if it's more simple and shorter for your brain to take that in. And then obviously there's visualization as well, which is really just the real reality internally. The images that you feed to your mind doesn't know the difference between what is real out there and what's in here, what it's seeing. It literally doesn't know the difference. So whatever you're focusing on, your mind takes that as true. So you're really just using any of those techniques to remind yourself that you already have it. You're fulfilling yourself internally. You're giving it to yourself internally. So for example, visualizing, you're visualizing the money in your bank account. You're visualizing the outcome that you want, hearing them say that, your test results are all clear, or you're seeing that person like coming up to you and hugging you or kissing you. You're seeing yourself together with that person. You're giving it to yourself internally. And also bonus, if you want to use the feeling state of how would it feel if it was already mine. So first of all, you're asking, what is the story that I would be telling myself if this was already true and it was already mine? Then you can also do a bonus, like how would I be feeling? And I'm not talking about necessarily emotionally, but more so about like if it was natural and normal, how would that feel? If that was just your reality and that was just so natural and normal, then what would that be like? So it might be relief, it might be gratitude, whatever it is. So you might visualize that, you might feel the relief of that, you might tell yourself a sentence that reinforces that that is yours and that is true right now. And how you normalize that is by you then, whenever it does show up in your reality, whenever you get positive movement, right? But everything's really just movement. You're manifesting literally 24/7 all of the time. You've manifested your entire life up until this point. When you understand your power and you take full responsibility, like you will literally see how you manifested certain things in your life. And it doesn't matter because you can always make a different decision right now. So it's not about blaming yourself. It's not about blaming anyone else. It's just about standing in your power and using the conviction that you have in your power to make a different decision in the now moment about who you are and what you have. So the other thing that you can also do is to train your brain to believe that it's already yours is through rehearsal. So literally rehearsing that you're already that person right now. Because literally I'm out in the park, right? You might be sitting down wherever you are. You might be walking around. How would you be sitting or walking around if you were already that person right now? Like how would that actually feel? Because right now, unless you're maybe like looking at current circumstances, you don't actually have any evidence to support that you're not that person. So I could literally just be walking around the park right now like I am a famous YouTuber. I can walk around doing all of these things, okay? So that's it. That is the key. It's conviction, it's repetition, and it's rehearsal, okay? So with that being said, have the best rest of your day.